Hello YouTube, NESComplex here, and today we're going to be talking about a true classic on the Nintendo Entertainment System, Kid Icarus.
There are thousands of classic games, and just as many ways of rating them. But if you love retro games as much as I do, and just want to know if a game is worth playing, then only one question need be answered. Kid Icarus was released in 1986 as part of Nintendo's Adventure series. According to the back of the box, it says to get ready for action and adventure of Greek mythology translated to the video age. Right. The premise of Kid Icarus is that you're in a kingdom called Angel Land, which has been taken over by the evil goddess Medusa, and trying to find 3 sacred treasures and then rescue Palutena, who is the goddess of light. While Kid Icarus has been called a sister game to Metroid for having the same creator and being released about the same time, it is different. It does set itself apart in many ways. For example, Kid Icarus is much more linear than Metroid is, whereas Metroid's all about exploration. Kid Icarus is much more about just getting to the end of the level. Kid Icarus also has a quasi-experience type system where you save hammers, and also you can save up hearts to use to buy things in shops. And lastly, it's level design. There are many types of levels where there's vertical scrolling levels, or exploration type levels, or side-scrolling levels, or free flight arrow shooting type levels. There is a lot of variety in Kid Icarus, and all of these things really set it apart from Metroid. And while that was a strength when the game was first released, I could see it causing some confusion to a modern gamer. I mean, especially in the exploration type levels, in one room you might go into, there'd be a pit of sand, and it regenerates your health, and then you walk into another room and you turn into an eggplant. How do you cure this? Where do you go? There are a lot of different things like that. Or going into a shop where they sell items, yet you don't have enough money because the game just started. As far as the way the game actually controls, it is Nintendo, so it's excellent. The only gripe I might have is that when you fall in a vertical scrolling level, you die. The level doesn't scroll back down as it would in, say, Super Mario Bros. 2. You just die, and that can be very frustrating, especially for modern gamers who aren't used to that sort of thing. And that leads to another discussion regarding Kid Icarus, and that is its difficulty. Let me tell you, this game is hard. I could beat Ninja Gaiden, but I could not beat Kid Icarus, especially when you get to the later levels. That final level when you're flying through the clouds ready to attack Medusa, without that code, there is no chance in God's green earth that I would be able to beat this game, and I have no idea how little kids in 1986 were able to do it. Well, should that discourage you from playing this game? Well, I guess that depends on what kind of gamer you are. Do you like games that make your hands bleed? Don't take these complaints too seriously. After all, Kid Icarus is a great game, and the challenge just makes the successes that much more sweet. One thing I absolutely love about the game is the sound. From the moment you boot this game up and hear especially the first level music, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the nostalgic factor that's pulling at the strings of my heart, but I love this sound. The 80s. The last level, however, that is bad. The song is bad and repetitive. Very repetitive. Graphically, it may not look like much by today's standards, but when you compare it to other early Nintendo titles like the black box titles like Wrecking Crew or Clu Clu Land, things like that, Kid Icarus is really well done. It looks great, almost cartoony, and that's one of the things I love about early Nintendo games, is that cartoony quality. The overall presentation, in my opinion, is excellent. It really does bring you into that sense of Greek mythology, with the little winged creatures and the sky and the clouds and the levels and the pillars, and the fact that you're fighting Medusa as a main boss. I think it really did set itself apart from other titles of the time. And that brings us to the big question about Kid Icarus. Is it fun? Well, my answer to that is a resounding yes. That is, of course, unless you're the type of gamer who really doesn't want to have a challenge. If you don't like difficulty in games, then maybe you want to stay away from this. But if you do like a challenge, and you want that classic retro Nintendo feel, maybe bring back some of the memories of that time period, then Kid Icarus is definitely a game you need to be playing.